Hey, everybody. Hello.
What is everybody doing tonight?
Got to switch this over here. Hey, we switched. All right, cool.
We switched because it's
So,
the Murph and Dirk show, not the Dirk and Murph show.
welcome to the show, everybody.
I'm looking at private chat, so it's like no one's here. Look at all the people.
Get in there. Don't do that.
I got it.
All right, we got Crazy Mad. Hello. We got Dean, who wishes he wasn't here.
Let's kick him. Someone kick him then. Kick him out.
And we
Where's
got
our
80s.
renters?
Look at that. We got 80s. And who else?
Oh, trying to goad us. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
No, not tonight. So thank you guys for showing up. Looks like we're missing we don't have Mo Biggs. Where's Mo Biggs? He's not around tonight. So hopefully he'll show up.
The wrong person and Mo is no more.
We're probably throwing him off with our schedule because I know we've changed a lot, but we're back on Tuesdays. So that's what I was trying to say last week is we are going to continue with Tuesdays.
We were on Tuesday last week, right?
Yeah, but people, I think we're throwing people off their game, so it's all cool. But we got to be consistent. So, but anyway, welcome to the show, everyone.
With my inconsistency. So.
Yeah, you really are. That is the truth.
So I'm consistent. So suck it. No comeback.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, you call it consistent. I don't know what to call it.
I am consistently inconsistent, and I'm the best at it.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think we have a pretty good topic to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting topic.
I think we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But first, we have the question of the week by Crazy Mad.
Oh, is it better than last week's? Last week's was terrible.
This is kind of fun. I like it.
Okay, let's see.
Would you rather live in a haunted house where the ghosts ignore you and do their own thing, or would you be a ghost in a house living out a pleasant and uneventful week from your life again and again? So it's like Groundhog Day for ghosts.
That sounds like my life. Would you rather live in a haunted house where ghosts ignore you and do their own thing? I love their own thing. Like, I love what would be their own thing.
Right.
Or be a ghost in a living.
Oh, look at that.
Wait, go back. I didn't read the whole thing.
Look, we got Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for showing up,
hey,
man.
Jeremy.
And we got Mo Biggs in the house. Awesome,
Mo,
guys.
someone
Thanks for
was saying
showing
you
up.
messed with the wrong person and they had your number, so.
Okay, so would you rather be in a haunted house where the ghosts ignore you and do their own thing?
Their thing. They do.
So what is their thing, Crazy Mad? Like, if it's their thing where they're like having sex, like in your bed or something, and you just have to ignore it. Do I want ghosts doing weird shit like that? Or
ghosts can't have sex.
Is it? Well, you don't know. You might see them. Like, would you?
Dude, they're ghosts. They can't penetrate, or all they do is.
That's not what I mean. But what if you had to watch a weird act? Like, what if you had to watch a ghost kill somebody? Like, you know what I mean? Like in a ghost.
They can't kill people either.
But you know what I mean? It's like they're playing out a scene of a movie, and you had to watch this gross thing happen.
So you mean like Beetlejuice being a ghost, where he's just annoying? Like
I mean that, or you have to keep watching like a grotesque thing or like something horrific happen over and over and over again.
So like that guy in Harry Potter that's the nearly headless, so he just keeps taking his head off and you see like all the blood and stuff and then it goes back on.
Yeah. Well, look what Mo says. Imagine the frustration Dirk would feel if ghosts were boning in his bed and didn't let him join in. Mo, that's nasty, Mo. So cut that out. You two are scaring the living shit out. Okay. Mo, now we're going too deep.
Too
deep.
You can't stop it.
I know, the chat. They just go off the hook, man. So I don't know. I don't want to have Groundhog Day, so I don't want to keep doing the same thing over. So I'd rather have ghosts that ignore me. At least you could probably avoid that room or avoid where they go. Right?
I mean, are they tell me what their thing is. That does matter.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. They're ignoring you.
I mean, are they like going la 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 when I'm trying to sleep? Like
we can't hear you. That would be fun. But
but if they don't let you sleep, no, you said they're doing their own thing. So yeah, they're not messing with you.
Yeah, I mean,
but still, if
Crazy
their
Mad says it's free
noisy.
Forever. I think that's gross, though. I mean, what
do
if
you mean
like
free porn forever? Have you not heard the internet, Crazy Mad? We don't need ghosts for
that. Oh shoot! I don't know. I think it'd be weird because what if they were doing something, even though they were ignoring you, and you had to, because you would see it, you would walk into it, you would see it. I think it would be pretty horrific. So
can you stop doing sexual innuendos? Like you can't blame the chat with Derek. That's all you do.
I was doing this.
No, it's just your words.
Oh, Mo has a good question. Look at this. Look at this though. Are they visible or they're just ignoring us? So that is two different things.
Well, no, he means like, can they knock things over? I'm guessing, but you don't see them. But like at Ghostbusters, where they would like in that courtroom, you don't see them, but they're hitting all the chairs and Poltergeist and.
Well, that to me is different, but like if they're just
I'll tell you
around,
this: if there's no afterlife, like if religions are wrong and there's no heaven or anything, and we just die, yes, I'd much rather be a ghost than not exist.
Wow. Yeah, that's probably right. Hey, Hicks Villain, thanks for coming in, man.
Which I do understand people that believe that because they're like, hey, I didn't exist before I was born. So that's how death would be. And it's like,
so he's saying they're just walking around. See, they're visible, but just benign. They're not really doing anything of note.
So basically like the Harry Potter ghosts. They're just walking around. They're really not doing. You can
but
say
they interacted. Them, but they didn't ignore. They actually interacted.
Well, there's tons of kids that walk by them and ignore them.
Yeah, there is. There is.
Yeah, they're ignored.
Ah, man. I would rather have that, to be honest. I don't want to be.
Which one?
I would rather have the ghosts just kind of being around me, but I wouldn't want to be living the same thing over and over and over again.
I mean, if there's like paradise, if there's eternal paradise, why would I want to be a ghost?
Sure, but I'm talking if you were and you had to live the same scene over and over and over again, I think that would really suck.
Well, I don't think you live the same. He's just saying you're stuck in that house forever. Which
I'll put it up here in just a minute.
He did say that though, right?
Imagine if Murph was haunting you. Imagine if Murph was haunting you. Who keeps downloading Justin Bieber songs? See,
I would if I knew one of his songs, I would sing it right now. And I'm trying to think, and I can't think of any of his songs. Which he probably has songs I've heard that I didn't know it was him.
Here you go, Murph. You're living out a pleasant and uneventful week from your life again and again. That would be terrible. No matter what it was, to do it again and again.
I mean, so there's no like sports. Like I can't watch sports.
He said it was a pleasant week though, but still, you're in like
what
you're
is
like
that
a record.
Like, am I eating chicken wings and pizza every day? Like, that's boring.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what it was. Even if it was kind of fun, it would be. You'd be living.
Well, to me, it makes it. I really think, honestly, though, the whole thing comes down to eternity. And if there is no eternity, then yeah, you'd want to be a ghost. If there is an eternity, why would you then want to be a ghost? Like, it would seem stupid. Unless you're going to hell, I'd much rather be a ghost than go to hell. So
yeah, that's true.
Murph and Dirk and Dirk and Murph and Murph and Dirk and Dirk.
Oh.
Hey. Good stuff's here.
Hey, good stuff.
Good to see you. As a ghost, you're aware that a week is repeating, or does your mental clock reset each week? Yeah, that's a good question.
Ooh. If I'm going to heaven, I don't want to be a ghost. I would hate that. If I'm going to hell, I want to be a ghost. If there's no eternal T, I want to be a ghost.
Just pick the two that he picked. Okay, don't go to. We're not talking heaven, hell. We're just talking about. Do you want to be the ghost ignoring people, or live in a house with ghosts that ignore you, or be a ghost?
It doesn't affect the rest of my life. It just affects a weekend.
What? Just oh my gosh! Why Murph can't get your situation? He's really out of it.
Dude, when I make choices, I think of short-term consequences and 5 years long consequences, just like thinking for change, bud.
I just don't
So,
think you're.
How's it going to affect me?
I don't think
5 years
you
from
think.
now?
I don't think you're thinking about this situation. You're like expanding the situation, and it's not expanding. It's
Because
just
it impacts
you're either this
all
or
my
you're that.
situation.
Okay. All right. So Crazy Mad says, I don't know. I'd say you're not aware. I don't know the ghost rules. If the ghosts ignore you, it would be the best situation with roommates. See, that's what I say.
Dude, you imagine bringing friends over and scaring the crap out of them?
Hey, Amanda and Raiden Radio, thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be crazy. I mean, people wouldn't probably want
You'd
to
have
come to your
the
house.
best Halloween haunted house ever.
You would.
Like, man,
it's true.
you'd make some good money.
You'd probably make money
like,
because
"How
everybody
you
would want to
doing
come to your
this?"
house. That's for sure. Like all the ghost hunters would come, right?
What if they're... Oh, yeah.
So you'd be on TV. You would have probably movies, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they call you the ghost talker, or...
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd take that situation every day, all day.
Oh, if I
That'd
had
be
a
great.
ghost as my friends? Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
No, they're ignoring you. They're not your friend.
Oh, I want them to be my friend.
Okay, so I think that's the answer. But anyway, I didn't hear a lot of answers in the chat. They
Yeah,
didn't
what the
really
hell,
say
chat?
a lot.
Let's
They
get
kind of
on
let
this.
us answer and didn't really say a lot. But oh boy, here we go. See, now we're getting we're going all over the place with these guys. Now Jeremy says, but if you were just invisible and couldn't interact with anyone or anything, I'd choose oblivion. Ooh, see? I know. That's what I'm saying. Instead of being on like some repeat, like a clock. Do we get to pick the haunted house? That's a good question. Imagine once again that Murph was the ghost. You invite your friends over. The ghost always walks through here at 8 p.m. Nothing happens. Damn it, Murph. Another no-show?
That
was good, Mo.
I like that.
Love it.
That's good.
Answers? Do I need a lawyer? No, you just got to pick. Which would you rather do? Hicks villain. Which would you rather be?
Which would you rather do?
I think you do, Hicks villain. In this chat, you probably do.
What?
Okay, need a lawyer. But so let's get to the subject. So tonight we were talking about the old adage, right? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yeah?
We were talking
Dead
about
air? What's happening? Squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's what the topic is tonight, right?
Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yeah.
So what brought this on for you, Murph? Like you wanted to call it this
because
tonight.
Kyrie
so let's talk
Irving,
about it.
because I enjoy sports like normal person and Derek doesn't. Kyrie Irving has then switched a team again. So it got me thinking, like, he's getting what he wants every time. Like, he complains and they trade him, and he never has, like, went to a bad situation. Like, there's even times you could say he's went to a better team.
Wait,
and it's
slow down. Slow down a minute. Catch everybody up to what's happening. What are you talking about with Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie Irving is an NBA basketball player who's been on multiple teams where most players are on 2, maybe 3. He's like on his 5th team. He's not been on his 5th team because people are trading him because things aren't working. They trade him because he cries until he gets what he wants. So he is the squeaky wheel. Now, in these situations, he's still getting what he wants. So, there are positives and negatives to what he does. And I think you could use the squeaky wheel in all life situation. We'll talk about, I feel, little bit about shilling and things like that being a squeaky wheel. And to me, I've never liked being the squeaky wheel because I feel like you're just trying to manipulate and it's selfishness and it's all about me. But again, at the end of the day, like I said, he's getting what he wants. He's happy. And I wish someone told me a long time ago that it's my life instead of making a lot of decisions based on other people's lives. Because I would have made different decisions. And So what, kind of, so let's just start at that. Let's just start at being a squeaky wheel.
Wait, look at 80s. Now, Sports Murph is my least favorite out of all the Murphs I know. I mean, yes, look. So everybody, for the record, I'm not a sports guy. I could care less about most sports. I like watching baseball. I wear a baseball. It's the Clippers here.
Baseball's awesome live.
I follow some Facebook,
but it's terrible.
Minor league baseball a little bit, and so Cleveland, we follow Cleveland, but it's just that's minimal for me. I'm not a big sports guy at all. But I think there's a lot to think in here, to take in with Kyrie Irving, because it's like
about getting what you want by being annoying and crying.
Yeah. So in that, how does that tie into what we're doing? And
with having your own comic and business, you've got to promote. You've got to shill, as we say in the community. I've never been a salesman because, again,
look at Amanda's quote though.
What'd she say? Wait.
That's K. Murph whining. He's trying to get his way with the topic of discussion. Go Reds. That's awesome.
Reds. That's awesome.
That's what good stuff says.
See, I don't like selling. Like, I could never be a salesman. So, and I felt like I didn't do a great job of selling our first book because I wasn't comfortable doing it. For multiple reasons. I believe in our book, but
sure, it's
one of those things like, do I think my book's great because I wrote it? Like, everyone thinks, how many terrible movies are out there? And these directors are like, oh, this is great. And it's like, what the hell are you people thinking about?
Well, they're getting
so how do you know when your shit stinks and not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us, I think our Achilles heel has always been sales, right? Like being salesmen.
We don't even tell people to subscribe half the time.
I know. We're terrible at all of that.
Hey, like and subscribe. We still didn't do it. Tell your friends. Tell your relatives. Tell the guy on the street.
Yeah. So, Mo has a good point, though.
What he says.
I think the main problem was Murph was just maybe just a bit too protective of the plot. Mm-hmm. I think
because even we didn't show a lot of some of the cooler action scenes in our book. We let them for the readers to find them.
Yeah, and learning how to sell is a hard thing because
it's just uncomfortable.
Nobody teaches you how to do that. I mean, you have to go, and we were kind of following the lead of some other people that we saw, and we were asking questions, but you don't get a lot of answers. You just kind of have to throw yourself out there and experiment and see what catches. And luckily, when we got into YouTube, we had quite a few people jump in with us and watch, and we've had a pretty good chat. And
we've had an awesome chat.
Yeah, I mean,
very funny.
We've had a great time. Yeah. So we've had a pretty good turnout as far as that goes. But as far as getting sales for the book, I think we have a lot to learn, a lot to do. But is it being a squeaky wheel just because you are selling your stuff? I think that's a question.
Well, that's why you even go with Kyrie Irving. He's getting what he wants. So is the squeaky wheel the best thing to be? You know what I mean? Even if it's uncomfortable, is that a better way to be? Because again, at the end, he's getting what he wants. People might say stuff about him, but at the end of the day, he's happy.
I think it depends on the outcome. Like if you're getting sales, yes, squeaky wheel. I don't see anything bad with that. If people are coming to your book.
I think you can get annoying to where people are like, "Oh, I'm just sick of hearing you."
Yeah. I mean, when I think of EVS, sometimes some of the stuff I don't agree with everything he says, and he's out there and he's public, and so when he's having a good time and people are like picking on him and he kind of fights back a little bit, I think about that and I'm going, that feels negative at the time, but when I look at it, he's actually getting people to look at his stuff, so it's like the publicity thing. All publicity is good publicity, right? Do you think he's got
sales because he's a great salesman, or do you think because his name, he's proven his quality of work and then just his quality of work? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Dean, he goes, no, it's not. It's only bitches squeak.
See, but that's kind
Yeah.
of that's a good quote. That's a good quote though, because I do kind of think that Irie's being like a little bitch in a way. Like, dude, make it work where you're at. Why take your ball, go home, and leave? Like,
okay.
dude.
So I think what I see is a lot of the complaining streams being like that. It's the squeaky wheel that makes you go, that's kind of cringy to watch. You know what I mean? I get tired of
I'm not on the show and you're just complaining about stuff.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you watch stream after stream and all they're doing is complaining, about every little thing, every little, this actor said this, or this person did that, or these people are terrible.
Negativity is a oil to a fire. It really is. Like it can just go. And
a lot of people gravitate towards it too.
It can be fun, especially if you get if people are funny too. It gets momentum where people want to top each other with being funny and
I think that's part of it too. I mean, I think they know that a lot of people are going to gravitate to it, so that's one thing. But I mean, some are legitimate complaints, and you have people who are like, "Man, why are they doing this? And this sucks." But then there's others who are doing it because they know it gets the views, And when you see those, it's an instant turnoff for me a lot of times. I can't stand it, and I don't know why people gravitate towards it, but it seems to get really popular. Negativity goes a long way.
I mean, I've definitely watched YouTube just for negativity because I agreed with people, but I do agree I can only take so much of it. Like there is a point where it's like, okay, it's just too negative. Like I'm not enjoying it anymore. I'm in
right.
Like I like what's his name? Nerdrotic, but sometimes I feel like he's negative just to be. It's like you can't say everything's terrible. Like even I felt like he was a little hard on the new Game of Thrones stuff. Like he did say a lot of good things, but he still had a lot of jokes for it, and I was just like, man, it's a good show.
Yeah, I mean, so Jeremy says people love. I think he means outrage marketing. It's popular.
True.
And I think that's Nerdrotic. He gets outraged at the industry with not just comics, but
and I don't think he's acting. I do think Nerdrotic is being honest. Like I don't.
Yes.
I don't know if you think he's just doing it for the views. I don't.
I think it's their opinion, and that's fine. They're being honest with their opinion. But sometimes you got to go, okay, is this where I want to be? Is this what I want to listen to? It does start to pull you in, and you start getting connected to things that are just negative all the time. Hey, and then what do you like? Is there anything you like?
But then again, going back to the Kyrie thing, say Nerdrotic is just doing it for the views. It's working.
Yeah.
He's ridiculously successful.
I mean, well, that's it. So he's getting the money, Is he climbing the ladder though? Is he actually climbing the ladder? Are they paying
he's
him
getting
more
bigger
each
and bigger
time?
and bigger. His numbers go up really quick. Yeah.
And I guess that I see the difference in that being when you get into sports, what is your goal? I mean, you want a good career and be known.
Some people just want the money, right? Or the lifestyle. Well, it depends.
Okay, hold on to that thought, because I think you probably want two things. You want to make as much money as you can, right? Sure. And you want to have a legendary career. Most of the guys getting in, they want to be able to make a name for themselves in history, right?
I don't know if
I'm just saying those two things are usually where they're going.
I mean, when you're a kid, you always think of being the one that catches the Super Bowl winning touchdown or last basket of the game. So I guess, right. Yeah. You want to be the winner.
Right. But I guess for me, it's I don't get that, but I'm not an NBA player. And when you're an NBA player, I think, aren't you kind of in it for the money? That's what you chose to do. I don't know. I just am I would try to climb the ladder as much as possible. I would try to get as much as I could. Now, I guess it would depend on how much you love the team you're on too.
I mean, Tom Brady historically has got less money than he's worth to have a better team. I don't think he's ever been even in the top 3.
Right. Wait. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Mo Biggs. I appreciate that Dirk didn't pander when it came time to talk about The Last of Us episode 3. The chat was like, it was a bit much, but Dirk held his ground. That was the hottest thing I ever saw. Oh, I love it, Mo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not going to pander, though. We're not going there. All right. That was last week.
Thing I ever saw.
That's too funny. Okay.
I almost wish someone would take you just saying that out loud, reading it, take that clip, and then have you talking about it, and then they put you then saying, that's the hottest thing I ever saw. And wait a minute.
That would be great.
Damn it. I hate my brain at times. Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff.
Okay.
Can you cut it to where Derek's talking about the two men having sexual relations and then him reading what Mo just had him read out?
Man.
What is a clip?
Oh, that's terrible. Hey, Felix,
awesome.
Thanks for coming in here, man. Thanks for hanging out. No, but back to the point. Do you think Kyrie is compromising his integrity by doing this?
I think at least a little.
Do you? What makes you say that?
I haven't watched it.
Why do you think? Okay, so you haven't caught up on The Last of Us, but
No,
why?
I gotta watch it.
Why do you think it's compromising his integrity? I mean, he's in it for money. I mean, you play basketball professionally for money and for other reasons.
Being
but
traded
money's a
is
big
not
piece
like
of
he's
it.
making more money. He's being traded because he doesn't want to be on the team. He's a bad teammate.
So that's the
Think about
reason
that.
why he does it, or is he just looking to get the best deal he can get?
I don't. Oh, is his free agency coming up in a year?
I'm just asking.
Now
like,
that you say that,
it makes you wonder what's his motivation. You know, I mean, to
But then
me,
again,
it
if
looks
his
like
free
he's just trying to
agency
get the best deal.
if his free agency's up, he just had one more year. Like he could.
Yeah, I mean,
there and
so
wait.
do you get angry when artists leave teams on books, like comic books? So, like when
Yes.
an artist moves
Yes.
from book to book.
If it's in
Why?
the middle of the story arc, yes.
Really? That's
Yes.
a good question. I mean,
I collect omnibuses, so
yeah, I understand that.
I would love.
I feel several ways, okay? Because I feel like, for one, I like to see a run, from an artist.
Yes.
But then I like to see other artists too. So as long as the art's good, it don't always bother me.
I feel like in a story arc, though, it's a hiccup. Like,
is it though?
I notice it. Like, oh man.
If it's extreme, yes.
I mean,
I think with hot shot artists, like if you were following Mark Silvestri or Jim Lee, somebody who had a big name, and then all of a sudden they drop off and they get somebody you never heard, and the art's not that good. I could see why that would be.
I mean, when Jim Lee,
oh man, this sucks.
When Jim Lee left the X-Men, I thought they did pretty good. Who picked up after him? I thought his art was comparably. It's not Jim Lee, but it wasn't. Who was it? Why can't I think of who was doing the X-Men comic when Jim Lee left? It's
Ooh.
Oh my God! Yeah, isn't it?
Was it Joe Mad? Was it Joe Mad? Joe Madureira?
Maybe
Majira, or however you say his name.
I cannot, for the life of me. I thought I had it like in my head, and now I'm thinking, and I'm like, wait a minute, was it?
Okay, I'm just wondering because, it doesn't bother me because I understand how it works.
What I'm talking about, though. When he left, it's not like I thought the X-Men art was still rather. It was up there, still legit. Too legit to quit.
Wait, after Jim Lee, didn't one of the Kuberts get on there?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I think
Kuberts.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was one of the Kubert brothers. So still great art. Those guys were great at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So Crazy Mad says Murph is correct. He's on a bad team, wants to be on a good team, so he quit on his teammates to go to a better situation. Okay. Kyrie chose to go there to begin with. But, but does that make him compromising his values?
Yeah, and the current team he got there because of trade. He just keeps doing it. It's not like this is the first time. He's, he went from the Cavs to the Celtics to the Nets, now the Nets to the Dallas. It's just like.
I'm just saying,
Dude.
does loyalty go further for you, or does it not matter when it comes to like the NBA? As long as you get a winning team, I mean, does
I
it
think
matter?
I think in everything, your integrity matters.
No,
That's
I'm
me,
not
though.
saying your integrity. I'm saying, do
This
you
isn't an
think?
integrity issue.
Well, it could be, but I'm saying, do you think, because somebody moves on, they're not, having integrity? So, like, if like the question I just asked, like, as long as you're having a winning team, do you get angry when people leave, even though the team is still good?
Oh, you're telling me if he leaves, then the Nets win the championship?
Well, I'm just saying,
Or are you
I
talking
don't
about the
know any
team
of
he
that,
went
but
to and they win?
could be any team, man. For any sport that you watch, like if the team remains good and they're still winning, do you get angry that they lose their star players even though they stay good?
If a team is good, it's good. But I don't like when players go to teams to like try to get better. Like that was the big thing when he went to Miami. They were just trying to
Yeah,
make a team. Like
yeah.
that's not
It
what
just
sports is. That's not fun. Like you have a draft
okay.
for a reason. You have free agency and cap for a reason, for it to be
Yeah.
competitive,
Well,
not for it to be.
I don't think you're wrong. I mean, I'm not. I'm just trying to ask
When
questions
do
because
you
I'm.
think I'm wrong? You
No,
think
I
I'm
don't think
right?
you're wrong at all. Actually, I agree with you because I do like loyalty. It's like watching, listening to your favorite bands. I don't like to see the band members change because it
Oh,
does
that does
change
suck
the
too.
band,
That
right?
does suck. That really does
And
suck.
it changes the band, and then they have different dynamics, and so a lot of things happen. And now, does that mean I can't go on to another artist or another band and listen to them too? No, it just means when you really get onto something, you really love what they're doing and you like the players, you know you don't want them to change. You want to hold on to that forever, right?
Yeah.
So to see them move on for money or for whatever reason, because of creative differences in bands,
The
or
creative differences. Fuck, man. They need to get
yeah, I
over
mean, it's
themselves.
like you can look at this in all kinds of ways, but it sucks because it's when you're talking art, or when you're talking about something that you're investing your time in, like sports, because to be a fan, you have to invest your time in that too.
See, but that goes
You
back
get
to
emotionally
Schilling.
involved,
This
right?
goes back to Schilling though too, because I don't want to just be a salesman. I feel like there's not like
Yeah.
integrity in
Well,
that, and so
that's
it's
what I'm
like
saying. I think you get emotionally involved with all this. You get emotionally involved with the art. You get emotionally involved with an artist, the team,
But
the
then
writer. You know
again,
what I mean?
is that me being selfish because I'm thinking about me and my integrity and not the product and everyone who's participating in the product, and fans want
I
it to
don't
be
know.
successful so they get more. Like it's a never-ending circle of my mind going nuts.
It is, but I don't know because you know when I think about stuff like this, like comic book stuff, I'm like, I would love a story arc at least to be by the same team if you're going to change. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Wait till the story arc moves, to the next level or next chapter or whatever. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me to see a completely different artist or a different writer as long as the quality is there.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah. I
know.
mean,
Uh,
yeah. No, I
Jared,
totally agree with that.
yeah. Dean says every time they've changed the artist on a book, I've dropped off. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and I can see that happening a lot of times because sometimes some of those artists that replace them aren't better or as good. They get worse.
Yeah.
Dirk will never forgive John Bonham for leaving Zeppelin. That is the truth. I'm right there with you, Mo. The worst is when it's just one issue mid-story. That's just a filler issue. Always filled me with
Yeah.
disappointment. Yeah, me too. I mean, that does suck, and I agree with you on that.
Well, that's
But
something with the omnibus too, is you're getting different comics to come together, and sometimes,
yeah,
like a great thing is the Green Lantern when uh, off the first story you go off EVS's artwork, and I forget the
yeah.
guy, but the guy I don't like the artwork at all, and so going from EVS to
Well,
that, it's like, oh god.
it's tough, and that's what I think. If the editor's good or whoever's making those choices, you think that they would pick the artist, especially if you have a certain run. You'd be like, okay, we need something comparable. It doesn't have to be exact art, but it needs to be comparable, like at a level. Like
Yeah.
if you're going from Jim Lee, you shouldn't be going to just any Yahoo that can draw. I mean, you need somebody with some experience, because that's what everybody's going to expect. You've pushed that, you've elevated that book to a different level now,
Oh yeah.
and you're just going
Especially
backwards.
because he was really good at drawing Wolverine, especially Wolverine without his mask. Jim Lee's Wolverine face is awesome.
Yeah.
Best Wolverine face in the business.
So the Court of
Let's go
Owls
back to
trade
the shilling.
paperback. Hang on, just skipped issue 15 or whatever it was.
It's a good story. Court of Owls is really good.
They skipped issue 15.
Ever read it?
No, and I've heard about it, so I kind of want to, just to see what it's
I have the
about.
omnibus.
Sounds interesting to me.
It is really good.
I miss the old, the old characters. I still love a lot of the back issue stuff, so I need to actually.
Oh, the back issue stuff is great. Honestly, there's tons of stuff I've never read. Like Daredevil, I've really never read his stuff. Like I need to get into that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot out there. There's a ton out there that I haven't read too. So.
Oh, like the Cosmic of Marvel is really good, and you probably never really into that. And it's like,
oh, there's one filler issue.
Oh, I hate
that. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that sucks when you're expecting to get everything, and it's missing something. Okay, so the shilling. You said you wanted to keep going with the shilling. What was your next point?
Well, again, so shilling to the point of being annoying, is that just good salesmanship? Like, I would like to hear from people, because you'll see it in the same chats. You'll see it or is that person being smart, or are they kind of being a squeaky wheel and it's all about them? And you know what I mean? Where's the line?
That's a tough one.
Where's the line
That's a tough one to me, because I do feel like yes and no. There are two things.
How do you know when you're being annoying from a sales point?
Well, I don't know if you do, but you might know. But I think some people are annoyed, even with just a little bit of shilling. You know what I mean? So you're always going to probably annoy somebody.
Yeah, but again, I think if I go on someone's chat and I go, "Hey, look at Battle of the Celestials," and someone has a problem with that, it's like, okay, get over yourself. But if it's
that's where you got to go
3 or 4 times on a chat, am I being ridiculous?
You dismiss that and you keep steamrolling through, man. And but I say, I don't know,
even
because
on Twitter, how often should you be selling your stuff?
But if there's a person on a stream and I constantly see them doing stuff, and they're just pushing and pushing and pushing every time, I might get annoyed when I see it constant, but that doesn't mean they're doing anything wrong. And it doesn't mean they're doing anything bad. It just means they're excited. They want to get people excited for it. And it could catch fire. You never know. I mean, and if it does, that's great.
So I'd like to hear from the chat. When is shilling
I think it's hard.
When do you guys
is shilling
get
too much? Yes, that's a good question. When do you get annoyed?
If they shill and they give the YouTuber $5 to shill, is that not annoying because they're spending money? Is it?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
That doesn't annoy me at all. I mean, I'm thinking they paid $5 and what's the big deal? You mention it and say, hey, they got this book. Okay,
Mo?
Cool.
You see what Mo said?
We'll let you know. Good answer. Though. But it is true because, you do have to, it's not just for us. I mean, I'm looking at this across the board and watching people and how they do things. Some people are different. They play the game.
One good thing I'll say about at least it doesn't seem like there's anyone who's known. No one's like, oh, this guy's always shilling. Doesn't seem like anyone has a negative.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't see it always as a negative. I mean, like I said, you're getting your name out there. It's positive no matter what, because it just puts it in the brain. You know what I mean? If you're popping that idea in somebody's head, it's going to, they're going to remember it. So for me, shilling really gets boring when I can tell you're bored by it. When you don't sound excited or passionate. Yeah, that's
a good point.
Yeah,
I like.
And you know what's funny?
Passion. You're right. There is a difference between passion and sell. Is shilling a negative term? Actually, can shilling be passionate, or is shilling just being a salesman? I'd like to see what people think of that.
I don't see it as being negative. That's my opinion. I'm going to say, we're in this to do the sales. That's what we're here to do. We want people to buy our book. So yes, we want to create, but I want the book out there to people,
Oh yeah, that was great.
So I mean,
dude. Getting it out there was such a great feeling.
It was
Such
amazing.
a great high, man.
It was, and it was crazy to hear people say things about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And family and people, that you just don't expect to hear from, which was cool. So, but
because
I do have a counter to this though.
Honest.
I will say there's a counter to this, with what Mo's saying, and I'm only countering a piece of it.
Get ready.
I don't know if some of these people are bored or if they're just scared shitless or nervous as hell.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they don't know how.
Camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the reason I say that,
like, I admit it, I don't know how to sell. I'm terrible.
Well, I say that because I went on Pete Cimetti. I love Pete. I love the formula he was doing when he was letting everybody get on that 30-second or how was it, 3-minute clock is what he did. And you could get on there and show the book, right? So I went on there thinking, okay, I got this. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to have fun. I went in there and it was like a deer in headlights. And I had done my show. I had been on our show. And I was like, this shouldn't bother me at all. But for some reason, I just froze and it was stupid. And I was like, well, that was a shitty thing. And Pete even goes, you guys need to have a little more energy. And I was like, oh my God, I just ruined that time frame.
You ruined it for everybody.
80 says, I hate everything. And I try to make the audience hate too. Right.
That's a good.
The problem is we're in the same space. If you watch the Bancroft Shill stream, about every other channel has seen your show. So
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point too. That is a really good point. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And I can usually tell when somebody is extremely nervous. I mean, you can sometimes. I mean, but I had no clue I was going to react that way. That's what's so weird.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't know, right?
Yeah, because, I get up and I've taught class. I've taught in front of 90 to 100 people at a time, not knowing what I was going to do. I just had to fly by the seat of my pants. I've spoken crowds. I've get up. I play with my band on a stage. I get on YouTube. I've been in front of people. It's not like it's new to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't have made me nervous, but I think it was because it was a different format. I probably didn't have myself rehearsed as well as I should have. And I think that goes a long way, Yes. And I agree, 80s. Yeah, there's a difference between nervous and people who don't have faith in the project. And that's it. I mean, I agree with you on that too. Although I don't know if I've seen anybody that didn't have faith in their project. I don't know if I know what that looks like. So maybe you guys have.
That's a good.
But I don't know if I've seen it. So, and maybe everybody thinks they saw it. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because it's weird. When I think about shilling our stuff, I'm like, no, of course I believe in what I'm doing. I've spent 5 years of my life trying to get that book, made. Why wouldn't I push it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about that earlier, the confidence versus cocky selling, right?
Yeah.
So you're confident, but you don't have to be cocky about it. You can be confident and own it, but it's just weird. Yeah. So Dean says he's seen it and 80 said he's seen it a bunch. So there you go. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it would have to feel horrible for those guys, but I'm like, why waste your time going on there then?
Well, again, maybe they didn't know, like you didn't know. You know what I mean?
It could be. It could be. Yeah, it's hard to say what their motivation was for getting up there and doing that. But I would say then take more time before you get public with it and actually make it good.
Yeah, but
that's what we did.
There's people who will never be comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Public speaking,
yeah, and they're looking for a quick buck. I think that's true too. They're just trying to make something with it. Unfortunately, what I find is if they're doing that, I feel like people can see that pretty fast, man. Like people can sniff that out pretty fast. Don't you agree?
If someone's just nervous,
No, if
Yeah.
they're just trying to make a buck and they don't give a shit, they're just out there just like, buy my shit. I don't care if it's good. You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to make a buck off people or get sympathy, you know, for the sake of making money.
buy my shit.
So, but it's
I love
true. But I don't know. I mean,
Well, that's a crazy thing because now that happens a lot, right? When a movie doesn't do well, they're not like, "Oh, I didn't
Yeah, they
make
don't
a good
apologize.
product." Oh, it's because people hate
Yep.
this or they hate that or they hate women or they
we're
hate-
just terrible fans. So how dare we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing with us, like we almost went public a couple times, you know, before we actually said, okay, now we're really doing it, because we had to keep going back and going, no, this isn't ready yet. This isn't ready yet. We need to make this right, you know?
Yeah.
And that, but ultimately, I think that's what gave us the confidence to say, no, we're
God.
ready. You know what I
I
mean?
think I had like 15 different scripts at one point. It's like, man,
I know.
rewriting stuff. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, think about all the different times, you know, like the drafts and the thumbnails and even the pages, like the panels, I had to go back in and rework because
Zune's
it
face.
wasn't there. Yeah, it wasn't there. And that's, so to me, I don't think that's a bad thing. You should be able to go out confidently, believe in your stuff. But
What if you're like that Phil Collins song though?
what's that?
I can't dance, I can't walk. Only thing about me is the way I talk. Woo!
Wow.
Come on, chat.
Damn,
Come on,
Murph.
chat.
That was terrible. Don't do that ever again.
That's what we call confidence, baby.
Is it though? I don't know, man. Some people shouldn't try to be so confident.
I've been told I sound like Fergie and Jesus is what I've been told.
Fergie and Jesus. I don't think so.
Do you know where that reference is from?
You smell like corn chips and bad decisions.
What is that from? That's hilarious. What is that from?
Hang on. Nobody likes that song. See, Dean's right.
Dude, that's a good song. It's not good when I sing it. That's a good song. No, don't hate.
Shoot, that's funny. So corn chips and bad decisions are from our residents at West Central. They wrote a
No,
letter.
that's from a movie.
No,
That's
we had to
not
read
from-
mail. No, I'm not kidding. So we have to read outgoing mail and incoming mail because it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. And because they try to do all kinds of shit in the mail. And
Derek calls
Somebody
it the
had
perks
wrote-
of the job.
somebody had wrote, this place smells like corn chips and bad decisions.
That's all.
And I'm telling you, it's probably one of the best quotes that we've ever heard in the mail, ever.
It's honestly dead on, though, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it really is. Oh, shoot.
dude,
So good.
especially when you guys don't have that thing in the lunchroom. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that thing smelled like death.
Hey,
Oh.
look at this. Let's follow this thread for 1 second. Sign up for the Embrace too, because Dean can't stop talking about it. And then Mo says, you can tell Dean really cares about the Embrace. And then, oh, I'm sorry, guys. My dog.
Damn.
But I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
I can't either. That's awesome.
Hey, Paul, thanks for coming in, man.
But that's
Yeah.
what friends do. You don't know if they're supportive or being assholes. So one
I
thing I
love
can
it.
tell you, Dean, they're your friends. They might not like your shit, but they're definitely your friends.
It's too good. Well,
That is
Dean, I will say,
I
I think it's good you talk about your stuff. I don't look at you as being cocky. You're confident, and that's a good thing. So I'll just give you some real stuff right there. That's what I think. Me talking about how Dirk told the two ghosts banging in his bed that they were scaring the living jizz out of him was a really underrated moment. It was, and I had to move on. Mo. Oh my gosh. What'd you say?
I was gonna say Dean just needs to work on his personality. All of his
Yeah,
art
I
stuff
mean,
is
the book's great. Just work on him,
Yeah,
Dean.
just him as a
That's what you
person.
need. Oh, it's too good. Too fun.
I love
So-
that though. That was such a great comment. I can't tell if you guys.
I know. That's why I was like, we have to follow that. That was hilarious. So good. Dirk acted like he was above it, but I bet if I said the ghosts were named Frank and Bill.
Are those the guys' names?
Yes.
In the show?
Oh man, here we go again. Well, Dean is from not America. The cocky gets lost in translation. Yeah, I mean that's true. He's not from America, but I don't.
Point.
I mean, he's a little cocky. I'm not going to take that fully away from Dean, but I do believe he's confident in the book. I don't think he's doing it to be a cocky asshole. That's not what. That's what I meant.
No, I've never felt like he's been a salesman when he's talking about his book. I feel like.
Hey Jim, thanks for coming, man. Listen to these two with
Jim.
their feminine opinions. What the hell? I just gave you like a compliment. What's going on?
There's a little feminine in all of us.
Yeah, you know what? You can't even compliment the chat anymore.
Seriously.
Can't even do it. Oh, too fun. So anyway, so we still haven't really heard from anybody saying when they think it's too far. Now, some people said when they don't do, when they trying to make a buck, right? And then also when they are not confident in their book. But is there anything that's too much if they're just shilling the book? Is it too much? Or is there a point where you just, no, it's no big deal?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like it's no big deal. I mean, that's where I'm going with it, but that's what I feel.
Yeah, that's what it seems.
And especially if I like the person, is it too much at that point? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big difference too. Like when you know the person.
Yeah.
It's hard
it
to.
is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like everyone knows each other, so it's hard to take that.
Right.
When you're like, oh, they're just doing a good job.
Retitle the show "The View" with these two broads.
That's nice.
Man, oh man, oh man. Oh man. So I don't know. So you fault Kyrie Irving for doing this?
I just don't like it, man.
And it's because it feels disloyal, right? I think that's the biggest piece that you're talking about. You're talking about disloyalty. You're not talking about the fact that he took more money or the fact that he's trying to improve his situation. I think you're talking about disloyalty.
Well, it's different too if it's one time, but you're doing it all the time. Like, come on.
I agree with you, Dean. That is very true. Except I tried to show how I believed in you, and you called me a girl for it. So I don't know what to say.
I guess, too, to put all the time and effort into a book, like, you do have to believe in it. Like, you're putting so much time. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would I spend 5 years of my life working on something and not believe in what I was doing? Like, that makes no sense. And
it's because you like being around me so much. Let's be honest.
Oh, well, you know what? Ooh, I don't know if I can agree with that, but okay.
What? Every time I'm not on the show, you're like, why aren't you on the show?
No, but I believed in my art. I mean, even if people criticize it, I believed in it. So I don't care. I mean, if I didn't push it and put it out there, then, where would you be? I mean, what you just be not doing? You're just drawing for nothing. You know what I mean? It's a sketchbook at that point.
Which people do that, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
sketch all the time.
But I wouldn't try to sell it, unless it was really good. But like most of my sketchbooks are not good. I'm just I'm working out things or it's practicing. That's different. That's not something I want pushed to people. But I definitely wouldn't have tried making a full comic, and trying to get the money spent on it and, produced. Okay. Right. So, yeah, I believed in the project. I wanted to see it get done. And I knew we could do it. So I believed in us. believed in myself, not just as an artist, but pretty much like doing project management. That's what I did. It wasn't just being an artist. I wore a lot of hats in this.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, I grew a lot. I've learned a lot.
It was weird though when you'd wear like a Mrs. Doubtfire hat though. I was always uncomfortable when you'd put earrings on and hello.
Yeah.
I love that when he comes out of the fridge and he goes, hello.
Put the Cool Whip on my face.
Yeah. What's this?
I get mad at things like if someone agrees to get on 80s Watch Flicks and Shill show and just shill and don't stay for the movie.
Oh yeah.
That's rude. That's rude. And I would agree with you on that because, it's okay to shill as long as you're hanging and you're being cool with everybody too. I mean, it's like playing poker and then as soon as you win a hand, you just get up and walk away and you don't let everybody try to win their money back.
I don't know though. Do you remember that episode with George Costanza? He'd make everyone laugh and he would leave the room. He's like, that's it. I'm done for the day, because he would then do another joke and it wouldn't hit. So in his work meetings, he'd make a joke and everyone would laugh and he's like, okay, I'm gone. And he'd leave the room.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's terrible to do. I hate that too. Crazy Mad. It's unforgivable in my book. Yeah. I mean, it is. It's pretty crappy. People should hang. I mean, if they're giving your time, you should give your time back. That's really what is expected. That's the etiquette. And, it's not asking a lot, really. It's really not asking a lot. And it's cool too, because once you get to know a lot of people, you meet a lot of great people. So it's fun. He has a format, follow the format, or don't agree to do it. Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, we do the same thing. When we invite guests on, we have a certain thing that we do. And that's where we're at. I mean, we're loose. We're pretty loose with the format, but the expectation is that you're here and you're going to talk about something, and then we're going to talk about your book. But, if all you do is get on and do the book and go, okay, see you, bye. Don't care.
That'd be awesome.
That's terrible. So I agree totally.
Can you imagine if someone did that though? That would be like.
Well, I mean, I think people do that all the time. I've seen it. It's happened to us actually, and I won't mention names, but it has happened. Yeah, it's happened to us.
Was I not here?
I don't know if you were here. I think you were.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think you were here. I'll have to tell you later. But yes, we've had it happen. The B-Rose episode.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, the B-Rose episode of Watch Flicks and Shill didn't work out because 80s refused to watch Sailor Moon. There you go, talking about Manger again, Mo. And nobody even brought it up. You brought that up. I don't know. There are some people who really love it.
I do know that. Yeah, I know it's got a big following.
Yeah, it's got a big following. But, I mean, it's not for me.
To me, though, it never really looked like a show. It looked more just like watching cartoon girls change their clothes. That's what it looked like to me.
I have no idea. I know what she looks like because I've seen the character, but I don't have any investment, So what he says, you skipped a lot. I'd say chances are Murph wasn't here. I don't know, man. I would just say, we've also invited people, and then
I've skipped a lot.
Invite them,
I've skipped a lot. Yeah. There's probably I definitely wasn't on for August when I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Probably September either, right?
Right. But we've also invited people on and they agree. And then at the last second say, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then I've already got everything planned. I got the thumbnail made, ready for the YouTube, ready for YouTube to put it up. It's already on Twitter. It's everywhere. And then
there was that one person that last minute they said they weren't coming on, and then they were on someone's show the next day. So that seemed a little.
Well, they were on the show the next day, but they said they had some major issues going on, and then they were on somebody's show. And I thought, damn,
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
I think that's a little sus.
Whatever. I mean, things
especially
go down.
Not asking to come on again. Like, especially not being like, hey, can I come on another time? Like, never talk to us again.
Yeah, I think that's it too, because then they didn't come back and say, hey, can we join your show again? Because I'm sorry I didn't make it, but I would love to be able to come back on. Yeah, I think that's weird. it's a
Because
weird
I gave them the
interaction.
benefit of the doubt too, because I was like, man, you never know what happens in people's lives. So, but then
Yeah.
nothing later. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Andy Smith couldn't be bothered to stay. Guess who stopped shilling? I mean, yeah, I feel bad for that kind of thing too when you watch those people do it, because you're like, you know, you want bigger names to come on. I would love to invite some of the bigger names on. We haven't done that yet, and we need to get some of those guys
Pizza
out
Mini,
here.
I feel, is a big name, honestly.
Well,
To me.
I mean, I know, but I mean some of the other guys. Like I haven't had Andy Smith or Aaron Lepresti. You know, I haven't had these guys on. I'd love to have them on. Graham Nolan, those guys.
Stop burning your bridges with them, man.
Did I burn bridges?
I don't know.
Probably burn them as soon as they came on the show. It'd be over. Aaron Lepresti stayed the whole time. It's why I back Aaron. You can tell he's a stand-up guy. I mean, that says a lot to me too. I love Pete. You know, Pete is so cool. He's one of the coolest dudes I think I've ever met, and just cool in the comic book world too. And
yeah, he definitely
every time
he's got that vibe like that you really like in people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just a great dude, and
very chill.
You know, I feel like here's the thing though too. I feel like I am not a big name person. I don't put any airs on thinking that I'm, you know, better than anybody or even want to try to, you know, push that off to anybody.
I remind you every day how much you suck.
Yes, you do. But the truth is, you know, if I'm inviting you on, it's probably because I admire something about you, or there's a good
you're
topic,
attracted to them physically.
Yeah, it could be that too. But you know, you want to pay respect to people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. For the most part, though, we've only had very few of those instances happen, and really, everybody else.
We've
been pretty cool.
I feel like that probably is the only thing. And then we might have had one person that wasn't really talkative. But really, our guests have always been super great, man. Like, really funny, really outgoing. Their stuff's good. Yeah.
Jim wants to know if he can come on and sing. I know why you want to hate me. I know why you want to hate me. I don't know that song by lyric. I bet I know it if I heard it. How's it go? No, Murph, don't sing.
Oh, it's a Limp Bizkit song. That's why. It's a Limp Bizkit song.
No,
it took me a second.
That's why I didn't know it.
At first, I thought it was Linkin Park because I was trying to hear it in my head. But no, it's Limp Bizkit's break stuff. You've heard that song?
I think I need to get people to time.
Why you want to hate me? Hate is on the table where the same lately.
It's time for us.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's their Mission Impossible song. It's not the break stuff. It's Mission Impossible 2 or 3 song.
I don't know.
Where they do the Mission Impossible the you know what I mean? Dun, 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 dun. They did that. That's
Crazy Matt says he's probably the best guest we've ever had. Just saying.
Who?
Crazy Matt.
Who is? Crazy Matt is?
Yes, I'm probably the best guest you ever had. See how
Have you ever heard his voice? He's not a guest if he's Jin, though. He's not a person. He's Jin.
You are a writer. Like
who, me?
When somebody says they're talking about themselves, right?
Dude, internet rules aren't the same thing as pen on a paper. Come on.
Well,
this internet, the rules.
We've had some really good guests, but yeah, Crazy Matt was good.
Had awesome cases.
Crazy Matt was great. We have had some really awesome guests, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I want to try to get some more people on here for sure, and I think we'll try to do that. We are going to still shill some books on here. People still look to us to do that, and we're going to do it. I just booked somebody for March. That's a little ways out, but that's just where they're at with things. But we're going to have some different people on to do that. But I don't always want to shill. I like having topics and being able to, talk and hang out and have a good time with the chat. So we're going to keep that format.
Do we always have people shilling?
We were doing it for a while, where we were shilling like every week. And then I was like, you know what? Let's break that cycle a little bit. It's okay to still do it. It's just Doesn't have to be every week or every other week. It can be spread out a little more.
Chat, do you like when we have guests, or do you guys like it better when we don't have guests?
Yeah.
See what they say.
Yeah, I know, Crazy Mad. I love how you have to always explain small things to Murph, but he can't explain why he puts jelly in his chili. It's the truth. Nobody should. I don't even know why you have to explain it, because you shouldn't be doing it.
No, we draw the line here. I do not put jelly in. It was a church, bring your food, and the lady brought it. She was super nice. I did it, but I don't regret it. It was good. The jelly with the meatballs were good, and you're missing out. Don't put that evil on me. I don't make no jelly.
I'm not missing out. Sweet meat and chili, that just don't sound good at all.
Dude, have you ever had honey barbecue chicken? Got that honey in there?
Not in chili.
Dude, you had pumpkin chili and that stuff was in there. You can put whatever you want in chili, man.
Yeah, Casey used pumpkin in it, but that's so you had that, what Casey made? Yeah.
There was like I don't know. I had them. There was like 3 of them there.
3 pumpkins there.
There's nothing Casey's ever made that I didn't like.
Yeah, I know. She cooks good.
Except you're the one that's always complaining. You're always like, Casey, why is this in this? Why do you got corn in here? What is going on here?
I love corn in there. But see, meatballs and chili. That's what I'm saying, Jim. Meatballs, you're putting like, that's gross. Yeah. That's weird, man. It's weird. That means somebody probably took their spaghetti and meatballs and tried to make chili out of it or something. That's gross.
Yeah, it could have been something like that. It was good.
So 80 says, Aaron's great, even though I'm offensive. He hung out for hours after the show. Others canceled because of my humor. Wow. I mean, that's strange to me. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna agree to somebody's show, then you got to be ready for the way they are. You know what I mean? It's their show. So if 80s is a certain way, then you don't agree to go, or you put up with it. That's what I say, because there's that's part of the etiquette for me. Like, I would never go on a show and presume to change the way that person runs that show, because it's theirs.
Weird. That's a weird thought. Why would you?
It is a weird thought. It's kind of manipulative too, and I would think that if they're going to go on there, then they better watch his show and know who he is and what he does, or at least check him out a little bit. Don't agree just because. It just doesn't make sense to me. So,
did the chat say whether they rather people as guests or us just not having guests? Did anyone?
I don't know. So Crazy Mad said, I like guests, but I also like your streams without them too. I'll never forget the Murph Hype School episode. All right, that was funny. And that was a crazy episode, though. That was crazy. Yeah, and we have people ask us too, 80s, and that's a good thing. I mean, that means you're part of the community and people are investing. So that's a good thing. And we have people ask us. We still get word out. People say, yeah, go check out their channel, do this, because they'll help you get on. And that's cool. I like to invite people, though, because if we have a specific topic, I think of a certain person, and then I'm like, yeah, what if we got them on to talk about that? And I think that's a cool way to handle it as well. But, I mean, there's days like this where we're just like, we have a topic, we're going to talk about it, and enjoy the show ourselves. And it's a lot less complicated, too, and we can just do our thing. And, don't let guests move your pillows. Yeah, man.
Nice. That's a good quote. I like that.
That is a good quote. But it's true, though. You don't go to somebody's house and go rearrange their stuff. That's for damn sure. It's weird.
That's for damn sure.
It's weird what people think. I think there's a lot of weird culture out there. They either weren't taught, or maybe they were taught by somebody who just doesn't care. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, okay. So my final thoughts on this subject, because I think we probably need to cut this off.
We've
Is
melted enough.
shilling is okay as long as your heart's behind it and you're a part of whatever show you're on, right? And you are, you're pushing your book, so you really can't be too annoying unless you're just picking things in bad taste, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, if you're just pushing your book or doing super chats or you just, mention here and there, hey guys, don't forget, check this out, I don't think that's bad at all.
Well,
Casey is like,
should you tell?
What's that?
Go ahead.
Oh, Casey is like, I wish Dirk would clean up the pillows every once in a while. It's true. Our dogs knock them off. They're on the floor. They get messed up all the time. She's like, go straighten the couch up. Straighten the couch up.
Do you want to tell people one of your other life quotes? Your life, like you were just saying that this is your value or whatever?
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Do you want me
What are you
to tell
talking
them or
about?
no? One of Derek's sayings
about?
that he. Well, let me tell them.
I don't know if I like this.
You're gonna let me tell them?
It depends on what you say.
One of Derek's. Oh, gosh. So one of Derek's, one of his big things that he always stands by, and he says it like all the time. He says it's not gay if it's in a three-way, and I'm like, I don't know why you bring this up when we're talking about basketball, but and so that's just something I don't even know what it means, but he says it all the time. I'm like, why won't you eat cheese with apple pie? And Derek goes, because it's not gay if it's a three-way, and it's like, what? That's my take. That's what
we
I've
need to
learned
time
tonight.
Murph out. You know what I'm saying? Murph, you need time
You
out.
have the power.
I
You have
know.
the power. You could even mute me, and you could just
Holy
see
crap.
my thing. What?
I'm flipped. That's weird. When I went and looked at myself, I'm flipped the opposite way. Like I'm facing away from you. On here, I'm not, but out
Are
there
you on drugs?
YouTube,
What are you talking about?
I went and looked at myself on YouTube to see what I look like on the actual live stream, and I'm actually facing the wrong way. I was going to time you out, but all I have to do is this. So, see, I can just pull him anytime I want. And it works. It's good, but I'll let you back in.
It'd be funny if you could do that, but you could still hear me like in the background a little bit. So I'm like, hey, let me back. Like, you know what I mean? If they had some of that, like, I want back in.
Oh man, no, it's fun. So anyway,
I do think it's funny, even when it happens to me. It's like, that's funny.
I will say a little bit on this salesman thing. We just bought a car, right? And I
Don't
just
say
bought a new
we
car.
like me and you bought a car together.
Me and my wife.
That's what they're gonna think. We own separate vehicles.
I'm saying we, not we. All right. I'm saying we. Anyway.
Not we. Oh, yeah.
Huh?
That.
And but anyway, we just bought a new car, and the salesman at first, I told Casey, I was like, I don't like this salesman. He's just in it to push whatever. Because at first he was, and then he got better later on. So at first I told him, we're looking at this. We saw this online. We want to check this car out just to see where we're at. And we took a couple of test drives, and we were like, nah, these suck. We don't like them. And so we got out, and then he ended up showing us another car that was actually more what we wanted. And we were like, wow, this is much better quality, better, better fitting, better suited to us. And then after that, he kind of softened up, but then you could just tell he was really into the sales thing. Like he was trying to push up the level every time. Like he was starting to get a little, like 2 or 3 cars in, he was pushing the amount of the car sale, up. We started at this level and he wanted to go up to this, and it's just a couple thousand more, you can afford this and you can do that. And we're going, no, dude, we told you where we want to be. And that to me is what's annoying. I don't like salesmen who do those things to take advantage of you. I hate going to Best
Buy and they're like, I don't need to talk to anybody. I know what I'm here for.
Yeah, especially when what you're looking for. But those kind of salesmen I can do without. But when you're talking about your product, this book, to me it feels like a different ball game. But yeah. So anyway, that's my parting thought. What do you got?
Kyrie Irving.
Nothing? Silence. That's what you got. I see it. Say it again.
My battery's running low. I got to get better at shilling. And it seems like people are okay with shilling, so I need to be okay with it.
You need to get better at shilling, and Kyrie Irving sucks. Okay. I mean, it's a good thought. Good parting thought, right? So it comes down to loyalty, right? I think that's the biggest thing. If they're loyal, if the person seems loyal, you'll let them show all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really do think that's what it is. That's what a lot of it boils down to. So, okay, that's cool. I like that. So, everybody, we will be back next week, Tuesday night, 8:00. Not going to be a Wednesday. Not going to be a Thursday. Watch, Murph will call and say, "Hey, can we switch nights, please?" But I'll say no. I'm going to tell him no. I'm going to hold my ground. Nothing, Murph. You gone? What is? Did he freeze up? I think he froze up. He's not answering anything. Look at this. I got him on the phone right now. Hey. So, guys, Murph is out. So, all right. I'll talk to you later. I'll call you back. All right. Bye. So anyway, catch us next week. We'll be back at 8:00. We will have another topic. And so you can catch me at D-Rock. You can catch Murph at KJ Murphy 518 on Twitter. And like, subscribe, and hit that bell. We will see you guys next week.
Murph and Dirk and Dirk and Murph and Murph and Dirk and Dirk.
See ya.